What's going on, guys? So today I'm gonna give you guys a 1 month update on the tank. It did not go according to plan, but we will try to salvage this tank and see what happens from there. All right, so here's the tank about a month into the cycling process. We still have traces of ammonia in the tank, so there's no livestock in the tank yet. We do see a lot of algae outbreak, and that's normal just because of the spike and a lot of the levels while it's cycling. So today we are going to do a scrape of some of the algae here and then do a water change to try to help control and balance this tank out a little bit. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on some of the plants. So all the boosts basically melted and died. I kind of figured this just because it's going to a high-tech tank, and because these plants were grown tissue culture, one, they have to transition, and then two, on top of that, the CO2 most likely will kill a lot of those plants. So I'm hoping that the rhizome actually survived, which it looks like it kind of did not on some of these here, as you can see. If it doesn't, then we'll kind of have to figure it out later down the road to figure out if we want to do another plant or just kind of do something else there. Unfortunately, the platinum glosso didn't make it. All of that melted. Some of the regular glosso kind of survived, so it looks like it should come back. The Japanese dwarf hairgrass looks like it's doing okay. A lot of it melted back, but we got some patches here and there, so that's great. Before we continue with some of the plant updates, I'm gonna go ahead and scrape some of the stuff on the wall so you can actually see the tank. So normally I would use something like this to actually scrape a lot of those out. It does a pretty good job. It's like an old toothbrush that I had right of the head. For the most part, it works really well. Just because it's a little bit bigger, I decided to pick this up here. This is an ADA brush pretty much, and this is pretty hard here. It should scrape off a lot of the algae on the rocks and on some of the walls here. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually test it. This is actually the first time using it, so let's go ahead and see if it's going to get. I'm not gonna do this on the glass just because it might scratch it, so I'm gonna just use this real quick on the glass, and it should be a very easy brush off the glass because the algae here is not a spot algae. It's more of like just a nuisance algae just because of the tank cycling, so it's very easy to remove, especially if you catch it early. And because this tank is still brand new in terms of cycling, this is all easy stuff. Got some water residue up front here. Let's scrape some of that out for you guys. Alright, so that worked really well. Actually, there's a couple more in the back here, so I'm going to do the back real quick. Scrape some of that off. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this, and we're going to start kind of hacking at the rocks here. It's actually pretty firm, so it will pull a lot of whatever's stuck on there off. Gotta kind of just be a little bit careful here. And for the plants that were doing well, the Rotella hyra in the back here is actually probably quadruple in size, because they actually started like something like this, and now look, it's like almost like over like 3 inches long, and it's doing really well. Here's the back of the tank. Unfortunately, the Rotella butterfly, the mini butterfly here, the one in red on the far left corner there, that one melted back on me really bad, and I actually had to buy another batch just to see if it can grow in. So those are 2 new clumps right there, along with this one here and this one here. And here's the other side of the tank here in the far back. Unfortunately, these stem plants aren't doing really well as well, just because this overflow box is blocking a lot of the light and it's not getting to this area. Unfortunately, I didn't really account for this when I was doing the escape, but I actually left a big enough opening on here. Just it happened to work out. It allowed that the box can actually fit in here perfectly. But again, the light's gonna be blocked here, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'll end up having to put a canister filter on here for some time being so that this plant can actually grow up, and then once it grows up, I can kind of just switch back and forth. And of course, as you can see, the moss is growing really well. It's probably one of the better plants in here. It's starting to fluff up really nicely, and it's great just because what I can do is actually trim it back, let it kind of cover the area that I like to get it covered, and then just kind of shape it to what I need it to be in the future. So right up top here, I have some Nubius Nana Petite White, this one here and that one in the back, and there's one over here. It looks like it's kind of covered in algae a little bit, but I can't really tell if the leaves are melting from the transition or not. But we'll give it some time, you know, let them grow in. These other plants here are doing fairly well. They're actually starting to kind of branch out a little bit more. I'm gonna have to start trimming some of these guys back probably in the next couple of weeks here, just because I don't want it to kind of overgrow everything. I want it to grow and kind of cover certain things of the actual driftwood and not really just kind of do a jungle form. So I didn't do a really good job cleaning the film on a lot of these rocks and the algae here. I actually want to keep some of it for some of the shrimp I'm going to actually add into the tank. They will actually eat a lot of this stuff here, and actually it's good for them. So I want to keep a little bit of that. I just want to clean enough of it so that it's presentable. This is not presentable at all. But enough where you guys can actually see what it looks like in a month in, and then slowly we'll get, you know, the tank rolling to actually look a lot better. So after kind of monitoring the tank for about a month or so, noticed a lot of algae growth, and I went ahead and dialed back some of the intensity of this light. Actually, I dialed it back a lot, almost 20%. Now, recently I bought a par meter, and I actually went around to my different tanks to kind of just measure the different pars and areas of my tank, and I went here and measure, you know, the specific areas of certain carpet plants, certain plants, just to see what kind of pars they were getting. And the setting I had was like way off the chart, super high. Dialed it back down to a more reasonable level of par for each of the plant, and hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll see better growth, less algae, and obviously once I add in the shrimps and the algae eaters and whatnot, it will be way better. But I want to, you know, see if we can get some maximum growth with the lights kind of dialed back down a little bit. And as you know, things don't ever go according to plan, and you kind of have to adjust and adapt to the situation. Unfortunately, a lot of my plants melted back, and you know, that's life. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, let some of this grow out, see what I want to add to it down the road. I might, you know, pick up a couple more of the platinum glosso, add it in, and see what happens. But right now, I'm just going to grow the plants as is and let it cover in and see what happens. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's update. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys subscribe. And like always, until next time guys, peace.